Hello, folks. Welcome back to my channel. This is the World of TV Shows, and today I have another episode review for you for Bones. And this time we'll be looking at the ninth episode of the first season called The Man in the Fallout Shelter. The episode originally aired on December 13, 2005 on Fox. It was directed by Greg Yaitanes and written by Kathy Reiches, as well as Hart Hansen and Elizabeth Benjamin. So what is this episode about? What's going on? What's happening? What's the main plot about? So without further ado, let's get into it. So basically this is a Christmas episode, Christmas themed one of the show. This is the mid-season finale. This is the last episode to be aired during the year before the Christmas break. So yeah, this is pretty much how it is. So obviously, yes, those who have watched it know exactly what it is about. So basically, the episode begins 2 days before Christmas, and basically, Celie Booth from the FBI is going to bring a buddy that was found in a fallout shelter, as the title of the episode suggests, and he would like, Brennan to, do her thing, right? Examine the body and, work as she usually does. But then something is going to happen as Zach and Hodgins are going to kind of mess up. Some mishap is going to happen. And guess what? Turns out that, everybody at the Jeffersonian, cannot leave. And there's a quarantine kind of thing, like a pandemic situation, right? So the whole lab is on lockdown and they cannot leave. So basically everybody is getting pretty upset, pretty, you know, kind of, not happy about it since, it's Christmas is right around the corner and they would like to get out to, because they all had plans, but, they can't really do so. So they have to spend, the days, leading up to Christmas, the few days to, inside of the lab together, they're completely confined, right? So once this happens, Brandon is obviously gonna be, taking advantage of that to work more on the buddy and to, learn about it, learn about this person, who they are, and what led to their death. And, this is what she usually does. Meanwhile, this is gonna, since everybody is kind of, locked up, without any opportunity to leave, they're going to kind of bond a little bit and they're going to get to know each other, to speak to one another. And this is when we learn about the characters more. For one thing, Booth has a son, and, Goodman has, twins, twin daughters, and he has a wife. And Zach planned on going to meet his family in Michigan, if I'm not mistaken. Hodgins wanted to go to Canada, so they all have plans. Angela had, her father coming to visit. So they all had plans except for Brandon doesn't have any. Actually, I believe that she did make plans before, but, she doesn't have any actual plan as opposed to the rest of the team, right? So basically, they're going to be there and they're going to be, staying inside the lab for the holidays. And yeah, this is when, they're going to learn about the toxin that was released, some kind of fungus, and the symptoms of that are, are about valley fever, that is, the disease that is mentioned, how should we call it, the virus or something? I'm not entirely sure. It's kind of difficult for sometimes to know exactly the exact, proper terms of these things. But yeah, basically they're pretty much locked up and they can't really leave anytime soon. So they're going to have to stay there. And it's going to give Brennan the opportunity to work more on the body and to come up with, any findings that she might, that might help her in figuring out what happened to this deceased, right? And then her investigation, her, or rather her work is going to lead her to some coins and to, some trip to Paris between two lovers and African American and some, African American and white, kind of white person relationship, the which took place in I'm not entirely sure where it was. Was it in a state in the U.S.? I'm not sure if it was Oklahoma or something like this, but basically in the 50s when things were different than they are in 2005. So yeah, this is going to be a tough case, right? It's going to be kind of tough for them to it's going to be difficult, especially in light to the holidays that are happening. So this is pretty much how it goes. And near the end, Brennan is obviously going to find, make a big discovery that is going to, give a new meaning to, Christmas, so to speak, So this is pretty much how it goes down. So what did I think about this episode? I absolutely loved it. It's so good to have Christmas episodes in TV shows, especially for Bones, and there are other TV shows that have obviously a special Christmas special for the holidays. So many TV shows have that. But this one in Bones was awesome. So I really, really enjoyed it. So without further ado, let's get to the actors before wrapping this up. So Emily Deschanel, David Boreanaz, Michael Conlon, Eric Milligan, TJ Thine, Jonathan Adams are the main ones. Then we have Jim Ortley, who plays Hal. Ivy D plays Sid Shapiro. Margaret Avery plays Ivy Gillespie. Billy Gibbons plays Angela's dad. Bob Bouchard plays Mr. Eddie. Christina R. Copeland plays Lisa Pierce. Ty Panitz plays Parker Booth's son. And Doden Bayer plays SWAT. And Nikki Fox plays lab worker. So there are a few actors, since in this episode is mainly just a team and then being locked up. So, there are a few other characters, but not that much. Yeah, I thought that this was a pretty good episode. And especially with the whole lockdown kind of plot. And with coronavirus, most of us, know what it feels like to be confined, to be in lockdown with the pandemic. So it was pretty good. I kind of liked this whole plot with the characters getting to bond over the holidays. And at some point, there's even a Secret Santa kind of, event that is happening, which I thought was so beautiful when they're all exchanging presents and, getting to bond. And some tree that Angela, made in her, I don't know what it's called, holographic kind of imagery, computer device generated thing. So I thought that this was so cool. This was so cute. This was beautiful. And the lights at the Jeffersonian is so beautiful for the holidays, for Christmas. I absolutely love these kinds of movies, these kinds of episodes and TV shows with, the whole Christmas vibe all over, right? And also, at some point, they're bonding, they're meeting, as a family. And Brennan is not so crazy about Christmas because of something that happened to her when she was 15. And I'll let you find out for yourselves what it is, because I don't want to spoil too much or anything. But really awesome episode up until the very end, where you have Sid Shapiro, Heavy D, who returns as Sid Shapiro, and he's wearing a Santa hat. It's kind of, cute and beautiful. Everything about it, I really enjoyed it, with the whole, plot, and especially the case. And up until the very end, when the case is finally solved, and Brennan, gets to make a family very happy. This was so beautiful. So really love this episode. Excellent one for the holidays. So if I were to rate this episode on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd definitely give it a solid 9.5 out of 10. One of my favorite episodes of the show. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed learning more about the characters, since this TV show is mostly focused on the cases at hand and not so much about the characters and their personal lives. So I did enjoy the fact that in this episode, we learn about them. We learn about, their private, lives, so to speak, what happens, their families, their loved ones. And, the fact that they are, human beings, who know people, who are, who have families, who or just like, normal individuals at the end of the day. So really loved it. So 9.5 out of 10 for me for this episode called The Men in the Fallout Shelter. Really liked it with the whole holiday vibe. Excellent episode. So what about you folks? What did you think about The Men in the Fallout Shelter? Did you like it? Did you hate it? And please let me know in the comment section down below. And I guess this is pretty much it. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next review. In the meantime, folks, stay safe, goodbye, and take care. This is the World of TV Show signing off.